Good evening. Well, it feels like winter has well and truly hit, but amidst all the rain and wind, we did have 5 dramatic games in the Barclays Women's Super League. We're going to start with the most anticipated match of the weekend as the league leaders welcomed the 5-time WSL champions. And unbeaten Arsenal travelled to bottom side Leicester City, who had a new manager in the dugout. And following their thrashing at the hands of Tottenham last week, Brighton hope to bounce back against West Ham. Well, it's a big night of football in store for you, all in the company of the Lioness legends Farrah Williams and Siobhan Chamberlain. Now we're going to start with our headliner. Manchester United hosted Chelsea. The last time these two sides met in the league was the final day of last season. A win for the Red Devils would have sealed Champions League football, whilst the Blues had their fingertips on the trophy.
Great ovation from a sellout crowd. Chelsea are 90 minutes away from winning the title.
Deservedly ahead.
It is not going according to plan at all.
Guro Brighton and Chelsea have turned the game on its head. The title is surely now Chelsea's.
All smiles in the sunshine at Kingsmeadow.
Well, United will certainly want revenge after coming so close to their first victory against Chelsea. And, of course, they'll also want to continue their unbeaten start to this season. Now, football aside, at Leigh Sports Village and across the league, clubs paused to commemorate Armistice Day to remember those who sacrificed their lives in armed conflict.
At the going down of the sun.
Here's the team news. Serious summer recruitment for United. It's borne fruit already. Plentiful attacking options, and today the injured new arrival Lucia Garcia is replaced by Alessia Russo. That's their only alteration. There are 2 former Chelsea title winners in the back four, Torres Dottir and Blundell. 1 starting change from last time out for Chelsea as well. It comes at right back with Niamh Charles, apparently because of the physicality, chosen ahead of summer signing Eve Perisset. So Lauren James keeps her place and plays against her former club in support of Sam Kerr, who has only scored twice in the WSL this season. United beware. So much spending on forward players in the off-season, Manchester United. It's serious strength and depth. Now the pace here of one of them, Alessia Russo, was too much for Millie Bright. Good ball from Russo, deflection, could have gone anywhere. And Paris had to just try and quickly react on the rebound. Brilliant from Russo, first with the speed, that's a natural talent, then the quality of the ball in. That's a great ball in, isn't it? That deflection after Toon hit it could have caused Ann-Katrin Berger all sorts of problems. And Eriksson, I think it was, that caught Paris as she went to ground. Torres Dottir with the throw in towards Russo. Out by Ingle. Harder is always going to get that pass away. Guro right, and it's all on you for now. Letitia going to ground. It's Hayley Ladd brings it away for Manchester United. That is a blatant foul from Magda Eriksson. Well, one day in the not too distant future there's going to be VAR in the WSL. I think there'd be a case that that would be given as a penalty on review. Charles taking on Torres Dottir. Well, that was awkward. We presume she's trying to cross rather than shoot, but it turned into the latter. And to be absolutely safe, Earps had to get something on this. It looks like it's going in. Half an hour played. The standout fixture of the weekend still needs a goal. Hook back towards Sam Kerr. Engel, shoot, a few people said. James crosses. That's more up than out from Thorisdottir. Bright, hammered it. Goodness me, she got some meat behind that, Millie Bright. It's cannoned off Leah Galton and away. Turner into Zellum. Given away. Kerr trying to make the run for the shot. Finds the net on the hour. Chelsea in front. Don't give finishers as good as her the ball for free. That's what happens. The game that needed a goal has got one, and it's gone to Chelsea. Oh dear. So unnecessary from Manchester United's point of view. Now we'll see what they're made of. The first goal they've conceded this season. And Kerr has drilled the Blues in front. Half an hour. Long way to go. Bright forward for Kerr again. Suddenly United are playing higher. It means the back door is more open. Kerr, James, oh, that's brilliant! Bang, bang. Just like that, Chelsea have blown it open. X-factor Lauren James scores on her return to Manchester United. And out of nowhere, this game's got 2 goals, and it's Chelsea that have got both of them. Great ball, Millie Bright. Kerr waited for help to arrive, and that is such sweet technique. First time, difficult skill. Harder. Wrighton on the run. Must have been close. Was Laetitia playing her on? She was. Wrighton can't pull it back. Went for goal instead. It hit the post. Smashed in on the rebound from Cuthbert. Pernilla Harder trying to end this contest. Beaten out by Earps. James Kerr save. Well, more action in 10 seconds there than in the entire first half. Nine home wins in a row for Man United. I think that one's going. Conceded more in those few minutes than they did in the... well, hang on a minute. Russo could be in. Game on. It is game on. Here we go. Where was all this fun and games in the first half? 20 minutes or so to get another and preserve the unbeaten run. Erin Cuthbert with the mistake this time. That is a fabulous pass, isn't it, from Toon? And the finish from Russo, deadly. Great take. Now then, we have a contest. Wrighton, Eriksson, deep cross, hard around the back. And James saw the shot blocked. That's still awkward, what a chance! How's that not gone in? Sam Kerr can't believe it. And nor can anyone else. That had to be a goal. Good ball, Kannerud. Pernilla Harder onside. Engel in the middle. Kerr too. That was in. But for Maya Laetitia, there is no way Mary Earps is getting to that. And Sam Kerr again is astonished that she's not headed Chelsea further in front. Could not have done any more. Lovely dummy from Cuthbert. Deflection, that'll do it. 3-1. Erin Cuthbert with a bit of help. And Manchester United's unbeaten start is over, as well as their winning start. There's nothing Earps can do about that. It's a huge ricochet. off Le Tissier and out of reach. Zelem into the mix, out by Millie Bright. There's the final whistle. The statement win belongs to Chelsea. Final score, Manchester United 1, Chelsea 3.
We were just congratulating the group on this period of games with Denise and I in charge. You know, to come through unscathed and win every game is a real testament to everybody involved, players and staff. And now, you know, we go into the international break, hopefully going to welcome Emma Hayes back to the touchline for our next game if everything goes well against Tottenham at Stamford Bridge. So yeah, we're just delighted and really congratulating everybody on a really good piece of work.
Speed of thought and speed of concentration for us has hurt us second half, and that's for me is the next step for us. It's that elite level mentality of thinking the game all of the time, being ready to make the right decisions at all of the time. And so for me, those are the keys to that. And I felt we were more expressive second half in the attack, but it took us far too long.
Well, the first defeat of the season for Manchester United, the first goals that they've conceded this season as well. Siobhan, did Chelsea deserve the win today, do you feel?
I think they did, and I think it's when you notice how kind of the gap that's still there. Chelsea, they've got world-class players throughout their side, but they've got players that kill the game off in vital moments. And when you get opportunities to score, they take them. I think sometimes Manchester United get those opportunities in those top games. They don't always take the opportunity when it comes, and today Chelsea were probably worthy winners at the end.
I think that's what people look at. I think they'll look at the fact that Manchester United stayed in the game for long periods, but you talk about the gap still being there, and the difference is, and you heard Mark Skinner say there at the end of his interview, the difference is the thought process, being clinical, being decisive in those, you know, them critical areas, and Manchester United wasn't and Chelsea was.
OK, well, we're going to come on to the goals in just a moment, but Farah, in the first half, should Chelsea have had a penalty?
I believe so. I think in open play, when I saw it live, I thought it was a penalty. It's just the way she went down. You can see here Guro Reiten as she goes. It's just that bit. But I think in the slow-mo, you can really see the contact here. You can see Maya Le Tissier, she just catches her knee, and as she catches her knee, she then loses her balance. There's the contact right there. She then loses her balance here. You can see how she steps back and then slips. What I think the referee seen in the game was her slip and not the contact. I think if VAR was in the game, Siobhan, they would have probably given a penalty.
Yeah, I don't think there's any doubt there's a penalty there. You see the contact knee on knee, and it just surprised me that Guro Reiten didn't really complain that much about the penalty either. I'm sure Farah would have been up there with her arms in the air.
I can confirm as someone that was watching it with Farah at the time, she certainly complained when we were watching it. Anyway, it didn't affect Chelsea in the end. 2 goals in 4 minutes in the second half. A beauty from Sam Kerr, and then, of course, Lauren James against her former club.
Yeah, it's frustrating here because Millie Turner's so composed, normally playing out. But Sam Kerr, you give her an opportunity, you give her a sniff at goal, and she's going to take it straight through Le Tissier's legs. Mary Earps didn't have a chance. She didn't see it until really late. And then this second one, much more direct play, which is not what we're always used to seeing from Chelsea. But I think Farah pointed this out. Torres Dottir pointing at the player, doesn't go to mark her, and Lauren James just slots it into that corner.
That was something that you were getting annoyed about as well, wasn't it, Farah, when watching the defending?
I mean, for both goals, I think Chelsea are clever in their press. And if you've seen every time Manchester United played out, they knew Man United centre-halves get really split. So they spread quite widely, and Sam Kerr would sit between them. What happened in that moment, Millie Turner gave the ball away, the transition was straight into her, and it's a great finish. But Torres Dottir there, you can see of her at least 30 seconds, recognising the danger, pointing out the danger, but not dealing with the danger. Now she's expecting somebody else to do that, and she was just recovering into space. She should have recovered the player and then potentially prevented a goal.
OK, well, Manchester United did get a goal back on the 71st minute. Alessia Russo on her first start since returning from injury. First start since September. And at this point, potentially, we thought we could have a good and exciting finish, Siobhan.
We did, and it was that Toon-Russo combination that everyone loves to see at the moment. It was a fantastic through ball from Ella Toon, and Russo finished it brilliantly. When you've got Berger in goal, you know it's got to be a brilliant finish to be able to hit the back of the net. And we thought, yes, could Manchester United come back into it? But Chelsea ended up being just that little bit too ruthless.
Yes, of course, Erin Cuthbert in the end with the final goal that kind of sealed it for them, Farah.
Yeah, it did. I think, as Siobhan mentioned, this is a chance for United to get back in it. It's the clearance, and you just see the amount of space. You've seen it circled around Cuthbert there on the edge of the box for a second phase. She's just in open space. No one close enough to get near her. She just touches it out of her feet, and it's a great finish. Yes, it deflects towards goal and makes it even harder for Marriott, but it's a great goal from Erin Cuthbert.
Well, a big win for Chelsea away at Manchester United today. Well, from the top of the table to the bottom now, Leicester without a single point so far this season sacked their manager Lydia Bedford earlier in the week, with the director of football, WSL veteran Willie Kirk, taking charge. It was a tough first game for him as unbeaten Arsenal visited. Siobhan was on commentary with Peen Mullenstein.
Well, it's 3 changes for Leicester City since their 2-1 defeat to Reading last weekend. Demi Vance and CJ Bott both come in to the 11. Abby McManus makes her first WSL start this season, which means Molly Pike, Carrie Jones and Shannon O'Brien all drop to the bench. Natasha Flint is the only player to have scored for Leicester in the league this season. The other goal was an own goal. As for Arsenal then, it's 2 changes since their 3-1 victory over West Ham. Noelle Moritz makes way for Laura Wienreuter at right back. Kim Little is out with the injury she suffered at West Ham, so Jordan Nobbs comes into midfield. She scored the equaliser that inspired Arsenal's comeback at the weekend. There's no Viviana Miedemar in the Arsenal squad today. She's been granted leave, as Leah Williamson and Rafaela Souza are still injured. Today, a new era begins for Leicester City as Willie Kirk takes charge, on the hunt for their first win of the season. But a hungry Arsenal stand in the way, who are looking to return to the top, at least for a few hours. Monham going straight for goal. Forced an early save from Lavelle. And straight away, Arsenal looking to create early chances in this match and taking Leicester by surprise.
Monham's been absolutely on fire this past few games, and she started off how she's left off with a brilliant shot.
Nobbs to place it through. And it goes to Blackstenius. Off the bar. And already Leicester City coming under relentless pressure from Arsenal as they look for an opening.
A really nervy start here from Leicester.
Oh, more danger here for Arsenal. They've got an opening. And once again, it's Frida Monham who is in and amongst the goals for Arsenal. Well, they've had much of the early dominance in this game against Leicester. It was only a matter of time, and Frida Monham gets the opener. Leicester 0, Arsenal 1.
Frida Monham's been absolutely unstoppable these last few games. Great strength, great ball across, and she was the first to react. Kirsty Lavelle made the initial save out into a danger area, but it's difficult in these conditions.
Ruben Moy. Here's Monham. Blackstenius is asking for it. Monham travelling with it. Mr. Mead looking for that cross in. Ford is there. Well, it's a great goal for Arsenal to get their second. All Caitlin Ford had to do was make sure it found the back of the net. She did just that. Arsenal well and truly in control in the opening 22 minutes of this game. They're leading 2-0.
It was a brilliantly worked team goal from Arsenal. It all started with a fantastic over from Beth Mead back in her own half. Strong running from her, carried on the overlap. And a great driven ball across with Caitlin Ford there at the back post to tap in.
Bit of space now for CJ Bott to chase down. Gets away from Catley as well. It's Bott! Needed the save from Zinsberger because Leicester were on their way in. CJ Bott denied.
That's Leicester's best move of the match so far. Zinsberger makes herself big and makes a fantastic foot save.
Mead placing it forward for Blackstenius. Beth Mead first time took a little touch for the deflection, and it will be a corner kick to Arsenal, but again Arsenal coming forward, creating that pressure and creating chances every time they come forward. Well, very congested in that 6-yard box as the corner delivery comes in, and it goes all the way in as well. And Catley will claim it. A brilliant corner Arsenal take full advantage. They lead by 3-0.
A brilliant delivery here from Steph Catley. He said about loading it under the crossbar. That's exactly what Arsenal did. And it's gone straight into the goal. I think Lavelle would have some complaints to make there because Ford was backing into her.
Bubba Moy. Lovely pass to find Blackstenius, who is through here. Can she get around Lavelle? Blackstenius to make it 4. A wonderful goal from Arsenal. Arsenal extend their lead, 4-0 up within 2 minutes of this second half starting.
And it all started with an absolutely brilliant timed ball. Perfect from Lotte Wubben-Moy, straight over the back line. Great running from Blackstenius. Lavelle found herself in a little bit of no man's land. And a fantastic touch by Blackstenius round the goalkeeper and into the back of the net.
Well, Arsenal have managed to keep 19 clean sheets in their 27 Women's Super League games under Jonas Eidevall. He's got the best clean sheet ratio of any manager in WSL history. Marnham. Great drive from Marnham, but it was punched away by Lavelle. Well, Frida Marnham, who decided to have a go at it herself. We know she can hit them, and she absolutely did this time.
Lavelle did well to make the save.
O'Brien. Allowed the shot to come in. Oh, that's a brilliant save from Zinsberger, and she needed it to be tipped over. Missy Goodwin, who had the opportunity for Leicester, and what a chance that was.
Brilliant play from Missy Goodwin here out on this right-hand side. Strikes it so sweetly, but Zinsberger is not to be beaten.
And there goes the full-time whistle. Well, it was a dominant performance from Arsenal in the first half. 3 goals for them. It's not been the start to life as manager at Leicester for Willie Kirk. The full-time score, Leicester City 0, Arsenal 4.
It's not a game that you choose for your first match, that's for sure. Now, that's the best team in Europe this season so far, and as far as I'm concerned, and I don't think they had to work too hard for their goals, which is probably the most disappointing thing.
I really liked our performance off the ball. I think we worked extremely hard in our pressing. I think we created a lot from that. I think pressing was maybe our best playmaker today. I also think we had good off-the-ball runs, and in the end, that was the difference.
Well, a relatively routine win for Arsenal in the end. You were at that game, Siobhan. What did you make of it overall?
I think routine's a good word for it. It was quite comfortable for them. They got a couple of early goals. I think the second half kind of died off a bit. There were a lot of substitutions made, and that kind of kills the tempo of it sometimes. But they'll be pleased to have kept a clean sheet after losing that record last week against West Ham. But some good goals, 4 different goal scorers, and a comfortable performance for them overall.
Well, a lot of people this week will have understandably been focusing on the fact that Vivianne Miedema has been given some time off. She won't feature for club or country until Arsenal's next game against Manchester United. But someone who has stepped up recently, Frida Marnham, 3 goals in 3 WSL games for her now. On the score sheet once again. Just how good was she today, Farah?
She's been very impressive, and as you say, she's taken her chance. You know, she got given a chance against Lyon in Champions League and has taken a chance. This is a great finish, and you know, we heard her in the interview after the game. She said she potentially should have gone with her left foot. It was a fantastic with the outside of the right, but she brings something different to Vivianne Miedema. We can't compare the two. They're 2 totally different players. This is what I liked about her. When she picked the ball up here, she just drives with it. Anybody else could have played a diagonal pass there, and she did look for that, but she drives and drives. The laser pass into Beth Mead, and this is a beautifully weighted pass across from Beth Mead for the goal for Ford. But it's here, it's the composure. She just, you know, she could have hit that first time. She takes the touch, gets the ball out of her feet, and then hits it. I just think she brings something different to Vivianne Miedema, but she's a fantastic player. And she mentioned she's playing higher up, and it's more comfortable for her. And you can see that. It's more natural for her to play higher up the pitch.
Yeah, she said, didn't she, post-match, that she was really enjoying her football. Now, the third goal from a Leicester point of view, from a goalkeeper's point of view, Siobhan, conceding from a corner must be frustrating. You said in commentary there that she might have some complaints about it, though, the goalkeeper.
If Farah's sat here next to me shaking her head, look, there's so many bodies around her, it makes it difficult. I think if there's someone pinning you, someone stood in front of you, you're going to complain about it afterwards. But I think you need to complain about it beforehand. If that was me, I'd be screaming at the referee, making sure the referee was fully aware that there was someone on top of me, because that makes them know what's going on and they're more alert to the situation, they're more likely to give the foul. But I think you've just got to be really strong in that position and come through, clear everybody out, including the person in front of you.
Maybe that just says a bit more what Siobhan was like as a player, a bit of a moaner, Farah.
It definitely does. I think the problem with that, I think the goalkeeper engages herself with the defenders first, and I think in doing that, it just gives the referee no choice other than to let it go, Siobhan.
But I think there wasn't too much complaints. I think afterwards
we could be debating this.
Yeah,
I was going to say
we would be debating this for a long time.
There's quite a lot of goals to get through, so let's hold that thought there. From a Leicester point of view, Willie Kirk said it post-match, didn't he? That wasn't the kind of game that he'd have wanted for his first game in the dugout. The change happened on Thursday, not too long after Lydia Bedford had done her pre-match press conference. He was director of football. What do you make of the decision to bring him in, and is he the right fit there, do you feel?
Only time will tell, I guess, but he's an experienced manager. He's had lots of experience across the WSL, and you can say that Arsenal's not the game that you'd want to go into, but at the same time, there was no pressure on them to win that game. They weren't expected to win. He wanted to see character from his team. He wanted to see their togetherness, their spirit, how they responded to things going badly for them. And he'd have learnt a lot from his players, even though they didn't obviously get the victory, but they weren't expecting to as such.
Yeah, well, he's got the international break now to work with those players. Leicester weren't the only team to change their manager. This week, Brighton announced the departure of Hope Powell after their 8-0 loss against Tottenham last Sunday. The Seagulls hope to get a response under their interim boss, Amy Merricks, as they travelled to West Ham. Kevin Keatings, watch this one.
West Ham looking for their 4th league win of the season, one of the clutcher clubs currently on 9 points. Stepping forward here, this is Asai. Brynjolfsdóttir, round on the cover is Green. Only as far as Evans, though. Looks for the cross. Oh, it's gone all the way in. 3 minutes gone, and Lisa Evans gives West Ham the lead. Not really, I fancy, what she was looking for here. But it beats the goalkeeper and defender. Excellent start for West Ham. Brighton, of course, post Hope Powell after that heavy home defeat to Tottenham. Fisk finding goalkeeper Hilliard. Oh, has given that to Carter. It's a gift. And West Ham's lead lasted only 5 minutes. Danielle Carter getting reward for closing down Hilliard. Goalkeeper won't want to remember that. Just beginning to settle now, Brighton. Ball forward, seeks out a good channel run here from Carter, and Sarri! 2 goals in 3 minutes for Brighton. And the Greek striker Sarri turns this game on its head. Sarri with the free kick. Goalkeeper Hilliard spilled that. Williams on the scene. Some nervous goalkeeping again there. That's a foul by Fisk, penalty. Referee not in any doubt. And Brighton have the opportunity to stretch their lead. Poor defending again by West Ham. Danielle Carter against Hilliard. No mistake. 2 goals on the day for Carter. 3 goals in 12 minutes for Brighton. Williams. Again, Carter with excellent movement. Asking questions again of that West Ham defence. Oh, it's a good try from Olmé. And Hilliard makes an excellent save. Spaniard really catches hold of this. The goalkeeper had to be watchful. West Ham in need of a goal here. And it might come for Brynjolfsdóttir, and it may be Williams who got the last touch. West Ham don't mind. They've got it back to a 3-2 deficit. Who got the final touch here? I think it's Williams. Nicely flighted corner, and Turlin's in there, and it's crossed the line. And Brighton have their fourth. Turlin, the goal scorer. Just when West Ham had thoughts of getting back on terms, they're 2 behind again. Georgia Fox drives forward. Finds a good ball in there. Fox has supported the run too. And it drops her way. It's Georgia Fox. 5-2 Brighton. 2 minutes after coming on as a substitute. The Chelsea loanee has surely put this game out of sight of West Ham. Not too much on the left foot shot, but accurate enough. Well, 5 minutes plus additional time remaining here. Tall task for West Ham to get back into this. Evans attacking Pattinson. Stands up a good cross. Assaye, and they've got one back. Hope springs eternal here for the Hammers. Excellent work from Lisa Evans. And Assaye was unmarked. Brighton just needs some game management at the back, not what Williams needed there. Evans going to have another run at Pattinson. Another excellent ball in, Assaye, and Williams couldn't keep it out. And West Ham, amazingly, 2 goals in 2 minutes, have got it back to 5-4. Remarkable game. Well, can they pinch a point here? West Ham. All hands to the pump for Brighton. Here's the dangerous Evans. Been outstanding the last few minutes. Another good cross, spilled by Walsh. And the chance is wide. And there was the opportunity for Claudia Walker to make it 5-5. Staring at a really inviting target. But Brighton home, 5-4 winners.
I think it was really positive from us in terms of how we approached the first half, in particular when we went a goal down. Really proud of the players in terms of the way they responded. A lot of players contributed to scoring. On the other end of that, I think maybe we take a lesson from that in terms of when we need to slow the game back down, manage the game at key moments, especially in the second half.
Disappointing to lose, but disappointing to lose the way, the manner we did, and to concede 5 goals, especially at home. It's unlike us. It is unlike us, but listen, we're strong characters in there and we'll have to bounce back, but it's not a nice way to lose a game.
There is so much to unpack from that game, but let's start with Danielle Carter, Farah, someone that you know very well. 2 goals and an assist. What a performance from her.
Yeah, a pleasing performance from her. I think she'll be happy with that. She's her first goals of the season, and she gets an assist. But also, it was her work rate today in the game. I think everything good out of Brighton today come through Dan Carter. She was making forward runs. She was pressing the goalkeeper where she gets her goal. And I just think that helps the team and your teammates behind you. If you see your centre forward working off the ball, you're going to come with her. And I think they did that today.
As for Brighton, starting life without Hope Powell, unfamiliar territory for them. She's been there for such a long time. What did you make of her decision to step down?
I mean, she's such an experienced manager, isn't she? It'd be a real loss to the WSL to not have her there on the touchlines week in, week out, but you've got to respect her decision. She'd have probably been frustrated with the performance from her team last week, but ultimately, yeah, she'll be a big miss to the league.
Yeah, she will. Maybe, though, we'll get her in this studio on the Women's Football Show a little bit more. That would be nice, wouldn't it? Well, Tottenham and Everton was postponed due to a waterlogged pitch. So just the 2 matches left to bring you. We're going to start off at the Madejski Stadium as Manchester City aim to make it 4 consecutive wins in the league. Charlotte Harper talks us through the best of the action.
Manchester City dominated Reading in the early stages but were forced to wait until the second half to make the breakthrough. Lauren Hemp with the cross, Reading captain Emma Mukandi with the mistimed clearance. Hemp's consistent pressure on the Reading penalty area was rewarded again. Jackie Burns with the save, the unfortunate Mukandi with her second own goal. Kelly Chambers' side had few chances against a well-drilled City. Rachel Rowe's looping shot, one of their best efforts. The visitors wrapped up all 3 points when Hemp found Mary Fowler. Her lofty cross attacked by Bunny Shaw for her 7th goal in 6 league games. That's a 4th consecutive WSL win for Gareth Taylor's side.
Lauren really stepped up in the second half and caused massive problems, played at a real high tempo, and 2 own goals. But I think the first ball especially is so difficult for the defender to deal with. She's facing her own goal and right in the 6-yard box. Hayley putting her under pressure. It was what we needed, and then, to be fair to Reading, they still came at us, made it difficult. But I thought some of the stuff we played today was top draw.
In the first WSL meeting between Liverpool and Aston Villa, there was little to separate the two sides at Prenton Park. Katie Stengel teed up Emma Koivisto for the hosts, but her curled effort narrowly missed the target. Liverpool ended the first half strongly, but when Jasmine Matthews' header was cleared, Alicia Lehmann dispossessed Koivisto and had a clear sight on goal. Rachel Laws did enough to prevent the visitors from leading at the break. Villa's quality began to show, and when Kirsty Hanson was brought down by the onrushing Laws, the ref pointed to the spot despite protests from the Liverpool players. Up stepped England international Rachel Daly to secure a 3rd league win of the campaign for Carla Ward's Aston Villa.
I think it was probably what we expected. It was a bit ugly at times, I'm not going to lie, but yeah, we're delighted we got the 3 points. I think we thoroughly deserved it. So yeah, we're going home fairly happy tonight.
Well, Aston Villa and Carla Ward going home fairly happy tonight. But let's just talk about that penalty decision, Farah, because we know Matt Beard wasn't too happy with it. Did you agree that it was a penalty?
It's a difficult one from the camera angles. I actually thought it was a penalty when I watched it live. I thought it was a penalty. I know Rachel Laws was pointing at the angle of which the direction of which the ball went off in, which would potentially tell you that it come off of her foot and went that way. But I think she made contact with the forward, and I think it was a penalty.
As for Manchester City, the other game we just saw then, 4 wins in a row for them. It does feel like their season's got some rhythm, got some momentum now, and players have as well. Lauren Hemp was someone that was picked out post-match, but also Bunny Shaw, 16 goals in 15 starts. That is sensational form, isn't it?
It is, and with Ellen White retiring, they needed someone to kind of step up, and Bunny Shaw's definitely done that. And with the likes of Lauren Hemp, Chloe Kelly up alongside her, they're a force to be reckoned with, and they haven't taken quite so long this season to get going.
Very true.
It took a little bit longer last season, so they're still in the mix, and I'm sure there'll be some fantastic games coming up with them involved, with top of the table clashes coming up.
Yeah, there's plenty of top of the table clashes coming up. Very much looking forward to those. But let's now take a look at the Barclays Women's Super League table, where Arsenal reclaim top spot and remain the only unbeaten side this season after Manchester United lost. Chelsea, though, are up in 2nd, level on points with the Gunners, but they have played 1 extra game. Man City's 4-match winning streak keeps them up in 4th. Aston Villa climb back up the table. They are now in 6th position. Brighton's 2nd win of the campaign takes them up to 9th, and Leicester are still at the foot of the table, waiting for their first points of the campaign. Well, in the Barclays Championship today, Sinead Hopcroft was the standout performer for the London City Lionesses. She scored a hat-trick of set pieces in a 3-2 victory over Birmingham City earlier this afternoon, which now means the Blues are on a 7-match unbeaten streak following their opening day loss to Crystal Palace. Well, elsewhere in the Championship, Charlton grabbed their first win in 4 matches, beating Durham 2-1. Blackburn scraped past Sunderland. Ellie Leake with an 83rd minute winner earlier in the week. A Katie Wilkinson hat-trick sealed all 3 points for Southampton over Coventry United. And there were 2 postponed matches due to waterlogged pitches. This is what the table looks like then. London City leapfrogs Southampton to take 2nd. Charlton's win takes them up to 4th. Blackburn jump 2 places up to 6th. And Coventry remain at the foot of the table in search of their first points of the season. So much sport coming up for you on the BBC. The Women's Rugby League World Cup continues with live coverage of England's match against Papua New Guinea. That's Wednesday from 7 p.m. on BBC Two. You can head to the iPlayer for Women of Steel, a fly-on-the-wall documentary following the England Women's Rugby League team ahead of their World Cup campaign. And we've also got this view on iPlayer.
I'm here to see what we can do with this club.
Our aim is to win the league and get promoted.
I do find it hard juggling the football and the work.
Come on!
To bring it home, you have to start somewhere. Squad goals. Watch on BBC iPlayer.
Well, on Wednesday, the BBC's Women's Footballer of the Year will finally be announced. There are plenty of big names on there. Do make sure to keep across the BBC Sport website and you can find out the winner. Well, that is all we've got time for on today's show. Farah and Siobhan, thank you so much for being with us. Siobhan, a very long day for you, having been at the King Power as well. And thank you, as always, to you at home for watching. Now, unfortunately, the WSL takes a short break for the international fixtures. But when we are back, the Red Devils will try to put an end to the Gunners' perfect form. It's been another brilliant weekend. Thank you for watching. We'll see you in a couple of weeks. Bye-bye.
Kerr trying to make the run for the shot. Finds the net. James, oh, that's brilliant! Bang, bang!
Frida Marnham gets the opener. Blackstenius to make it 4.